You ever see blue and red lights flash through pine trees at night looking like the 4th of July exploded on your front lawn? Yeah, that was me standing on the porch of my old lake cabin. Hands up as two squad cars slid to a stop in the gravel. And you want to know what for? Because of Karen. She's out there, arms windmilling like she's signaling a plane down, yelling to the cops. That's him. Arrest him. He's threatening our HOA, refuses to sell, he's got to go. I mean, seriously, can you picture this? I'm just a guy with a porch and a cup of coffee, suddenly public enemy number one in a lakeside HOA drama. So here come the officers, calm as can be. Officer Davis, tall, even voice, and Reed, his partner. Davis says, mind telling us your side? And before I get a word out, Karen's all over him, spewing stuff about mandates and unrest, acting like my little cedar cabin is a national emergency. He's breaking rules. He's blocking progress. He's got to sell. She says blight like it's a cuss word. I just breathe in the lake air and keep my mouth shut. A second loon's calling across the water, reminding me that peace used to live here. And I'll tell you straight, my name's Alex Carter. And this is my place. I'm not selling. I pay dues, keep the property up, help out where I can. That's all. The only thing I said no to was cashing out for their new 5-story clubhouse. Officer Reed's looking over my porch at the dock I fixed up last spring. The solar lights I put in for older neighbors he's seeing. It ain't the rundown shack Karen's been describing. Then Karen pulls out her documents, shoves them at Davis, big show, lots of drama. He flips through frowns. Ma'am, this is just a letter about a sale program. I don't see a court order or a safety code violation. Do you? Karen sputters, tries to puff herself up. The HOA's power is enough, Officer Reed says. Not the same as law, ma'am, which you know is the kind of basic logic that goes right over Karen's head. She starts ranting about the cabin blocking views, lowering property values, standing in the way of progress. I point out the public boat launch is on the other side of the cove, and heck, I even fixed that handrail for the kids. We'll figure this out, Davis says, handing her papers back, but nobody's getting arrested for not selling their home. Karen glares at me. You'll regret this. You'll see who really runs this lake. Right then, I knew the night wasn't done. While the officers talked to her, I listened to the water and my memory ran backward. First time I ever saw this place riding up in my dad's old truck. The lake opening up like a promise. Pancakes burn dragonflies on your knee if you're quiet. Dad always said, fight for what's right, but with a gentle heart. The lake remembers who shouts and who listens. Well, Karen's all shouting, never listening. You know, back then the HOA was just neighbors sharing cookies. Then Karen moved in loud voice, fancy plans. She wanted exclusive paddleboards in a premium clubhouse. Said cabins like mine were a blight on her vision. Started with changing our hand-painted sign to a big metal thing, then fines for visual clutter, meaning chalk drawings from kids disappeared at sundown. Next, it was view corridors. Cabins near the water had to move or go modern. She put my place first on the list. I told her I wasn't selling. Everyone has a price, she said. Not me. So the letter started friendly at first, then sharp. You're holding us back, making the place look old. I told her old can mean strong. She called me stubborn. I called it loyalty. One day, she claims there was a vote to force a sale. I asked to see the rule that allowed it. She just waved her hand and said, we'll make one. Neighbors started acting nervous. Maria, sweet lady down the road, began wearing headphones on her porch to drown out the constant knocks. They keep asking if I want to sell, she whispered. I keep saying no. They keep coming back. I tried to reason with the board, wrote a letter. Let's invite, not evict. Remember, we're neighbors. I even drew a loon on it for good luck. Next day, my letter was gone, replaced with mandatory modernization phase 1. That's when I called a lawyer, found out the HOA can't force a sale without a court order no matter how many votes they take. And I'll tell you, kindness isn't weakness. It means standing steady even when the wind's howling. I needed to remember that when the cops came back that night. See, Karen accused me of threatening her. I had said, "You'll be surprised how things work out in the hope we could keep it peaceful." She twisted that into a threat. Thank God for porch cameras. I played the footage for Davis. No threats, just a tired man asking for respect. The officers nodded. This is a disagreement, not a crime. Karen starts in again, accusing me of shady rentals, saying I think I'm untouchable. And I felt a spark of anger, but mostly just sad. How scared do you have to be to want everything under your thumb? We're not here to pick sides, Reed said. You feel unsafe, we'll take a report. Otherwise, we're done. Karen glared, muttered threats. We'll vote you into compliance. The officers left. The night went quiet. And that's when I realized some folks just can't stand losing control. But I wasn't alone for long. Later, headlights came up the drive, Karen's SUV, 2 more cars behind. Outspill men in vests with clipboards and paint cans. Architectural committee. Karen yells all business. They try to mark my porch with demolition lines until the cops come screeching back, catching them red-handed. You step 1 foot further, it's vandalism, Davis warns. They back off Karen, hissing like a snake. This isn't over. Tomorrow's the board meeting. Board meeting day, the hall's packed. Karen's all but wearing a crown, banging a gavel like it's Judge Judy. First order of business removal and sale of the Carter cabin. I hold up my deed tax records, repair receipts. Tell the room, this cabin's not for sale. This is my family's promise. Karen tries to claim I'm just a squatter. I say, check the deed. A lawyer I hired, Thomas Miller, walks in, briefcase swinging, tells the room in no uncertain terms, what you're doing is illegal. Here's the statute. Here's the deed. Here's 3 rental agreements. Alex owns more here than anyone, including the land under Karen's own home. You should have seen her face. The whole crowd goes quiet, then erupts. Maria stands up, voice shaking. Alex fixed our dock, gave us power, never asked for anything. Suddenly, neighbors find their voices. Karen bangs her gavel, calls for security, but they hesitate. Even Mark, the inspector, Karen hired to find violation, stands up. I won't lie for her. I found intimidation, but not from Alex. The crowd turns fear into courage all at once. But Karen's not done. She brings in county inspectors' files, more complaints, claims the dock's only for approved families. Next thing you know, a kid slips, falls into the water. Jacob, Maria's son. I dive in, haul him out, and the crowd turns again. Karen tries to spin it. Unsafe Dock C. That's why we need to modernize. But everyone sees the truth. Community isn't about tearing down promises. It's about holding each other up. Karen's desperate now. She hires men to tear the cabin down, but the neighbors, even the ones who were silent, link arms with me. The police arrive this time with a folder full of complaints against Karen: vandalism, harassment, abuse of power. They cuff her right there, and as they take her away, she's still yelling, "This isn't over." But for the first time, her voice sounds small. That night, neighbors come by with pie and music. Kids draw dolphins on the dock, laughter bounces off the water, and for the first time in months, I sit on the porch and just breathe. The spray paint on my wall, the broken window, the threats, all reminders that fear never wins for long. Kindness does. Promises do. And in the end, community isn't about rules or fines. It's about who stands with you when the lights flash in the night. So, where are you watching from tonight? Drop a comment. Tell me, what does justice mean to you? Have you ever faced down a bully and stood your ground even when it got messy? Let's talk. Because every lake, every street, every community deserves a neighbor who keeps their promises.